right, welcome back. Welcome back to what she said. As y'all can see, let me make sure I have Christmas happening. Christmas is happening. And I got a gift already, and I got a gift from y'all. Shout out to y'all for getting me to 6,000 subs. I am beyond 6,000 subs. I thought it was gonna take until Christmas, but y'all got it together. So thank you to everybody who subbed to the channel. Thank you for all of the compliments. My video or my short about Jerry Judy losing his rabbit mind made it to 31,000 views. And the pressure, see, Jerry thought he wanted that smoke, right? But the pressure made him go find his mind. I think he been over there trying to hide on the internet, but they likely gonna run him off the internet completely. So we're gonna talk about Jerry Judy and why his behavior towards Shedeur was likely an act. Now, I told y'all that Jerry Judy, his locker mate in the summer, was Flacco, right? And we also know that Flacco was there. Jerry Judy was the wide receiver. But, it's not like Jerry Judy isn't the wide receiver with the most drops in the league. I checked on that today. He's the wide receiver with the most drops in the league. So we're going to talk about Jerry Judy and how the internet going to remind him of what it is that we're going to tolerate and what we're not going to tolerate and who really is important in terms of, Shedeur Sanders being a cultural icon, being an elite athlete. And then we're going to talk about little Dilly Poo, little girlfriend, little fiance. She started yapping today, and it seems like she wants some attention. So we're going to talk about that. I will say this, okay? Finally, I asked, was this the week that people start calling for Haslam to be fired? Not just regular people, not just podcasters, but overall media. So Mike Florio took a chance at it, and he said the Browns will be the Browns as long as Haslam is the owner. That's apparently the most that he could say. Then you have other people calling for Haslam to be replaced. I say, fire Stefanski. Now it's time to chant fire Haslam, because now people are admitting that they know that if Haslam is the owner, the team will be dysfunctional. Now, I don't know who decided to let him buy a team, but just from the little research that I've been doing, it's something sinister going on with the Cleveland Browns, and in particular, where Black quarterbacks are concerned. So I'm working on a piece for Patreon. So make sure y'all head over there to Patreon and become a Patreon peep. Because if you look at the track record, at least just going back to 2016, and Haslam bought the team in 2012, right? A lot of dysfunction all the way up until this season. And it's starting to give that, when the NFL started their social justice movement, Stefanski was hired. And I know Stefanski was hired first before George Floyd passed away. But the things that transpired after the NFL started the social justice movement and working to eradicate racism, right? It seems that something nefarious is happening in the Browns organization. All right. So first and foremost, let's get into little Dilly Poo, little girlfriend, and talk about what that she said, because she seems to want to talk, and I'm willing to believe she got a burner, because she was bold enough to say, well, the Browns lost again. Who's surprised, or something like that. She basically dissed the team because her man wasn't playing. But let me tell y'all why she really mad. She really mad because Dylan is a dud. She's really mad because she thought she was getting a baller. She's really mad because she wants some clout, but how is she gonna get it with him if he's not the starter? And if he's not the starter this year, he's not gonna be the starter next year. So she's not dating a starting quarterback for the NFL. She's dating an undrafted free agent that was propped up and coddled by Kevin Stefanski. And since Stefanski still has his job, and everybody knows that the team will be dysfunctional as long as Haslam is there, it tells you that Stefanski was hired to be dysfunctional. And the Coach of the Year awards that are voted on by the media were to lend him some credibility. In his first season, he did. He went 11-5, right? But it seems like, I looked at who his quarterbacks were, Baker Mayfield. Then he had Case Keenum, who was an undrafted free agent, right? So when people talk about the revolving doors of quarterbacks, the one thing they're not looking at is how high or how elite or how high in the draft people like Shedeur, Deshaun, and others were. And they were devalued when they left Cleveland, as if that was the only point for them to make a stop in Cleveland, to be devalued. People love to talk about how Deshaun Watson makes $230 million, but you don't see Haslam trying to capitalize off of Deshaun. In fact, you saw Deshaun get sacked excessively 33 times through 7 games, and the insurance company paid his salary. And now they don't want to let him go, and they don't want to let him practice. So there's something nefarious going on with the Cleveland Browns where ownership is concerned. So if you look right here on the screen, you can see Dylan's little girlfriend, a little fiance, a little clout chaser. You could see what she was saying, that everybody in the building wants her man to be the quarterback. Now, if you look at the stats, that's not true. You don't have to look at not one game out here. You could just look at the stats. And between Flacco and Shedeur, 2 quarterbacks that elevated the play just by stats alone, her man was in the middle. Nobody told her that. Here's what she need to ask. Dylan need to ask her, who you been talking to? Because the only person that could have told that to her is Dylan. Because it makes him feel better if he believes it. And Stefanski probably told him that. Stefanski probably told Dylan, everybody wants you. Everybody wants you. And he went back, Dylan, and was pillow talking with his little girlfriend. And she decided to run to the internet and tell everybody on the internet that nobody in the building wants Shedeur to be the quarterback. This is after Jerry Jeudy lost his mind. So what does it tell you about her? She a little clout chaser. She a little clout chaser that's disappointed that she got a dud. Nobody is asking for Dylan. In fact, Dylan was a waste of a 3rd round pick. I was doing some research earlier today, and I said 13 quarterbacks were taken in the draft. Why didn't the Browns get Quinn Ewers, who went dead last? Why didn't they get Quinn Ewers, who led UT to what? The finals or the semifinals in the Natty? Why they didn't get him? They intentionally got Dylan, knowing he could not get the job done. And you know how you know that? Because they pivoted from Shedeur to Dylan. They pivoted from the 1st round to an undrafted free agent propped up in the 3rd because he went to the Manning Passing Academy. And who is it that the Browns want to get next year? The Manning's kid. You see how the Mannings keep coming up in this situation? So here's the thing, right? You already had Deshaun, but yeah, the insurance company paying his salary. You got Dylan. Then you go get Flacco and Dylan, and you already had Pickett. So essentially, Pickett and Flacco were Band-Aids to put around Dylan. You also got 2 running backs in Dylan Sampson and Quinshon Judkins. You get no wide receivers. You got no O-linemen. So you didn't want a real quarterback. So when you pretended to get Shedeur, you decided, I don't want a real quarterback. I'm going to get a lame duck and put veterans around him, and Dylan will likely never see the field. Think about it. 13 quarterbacks drafted. Quinn Ewers was dead last. If the Browns wanted to win and they wanted a white quarterback, they could have got Quinn Ewers. It seems that the Browns don't want to win. And that's why Jerry Jeudy's numbers look like they do, and he guilty. So what he doing? He performing. He performing because you got this little girl out here trying to say nobody wants to play with Shedeur. This is after Jerry Jeudy tries to embarrass Shedeur. Now, every Black person out here, regardless of your socioeconomic status, know that when you're sitting down and somebody walk up to you and they pretend to want to have a conversation, and they back up and they start clapping and they start being performative and everybody can see, yeah, we gonna stand up on you. We gonna stand up on you because see, you tripping, bro. Get the hell on out of here with that. See, he was being performative, trying to make it seem like He's so important and he don't like Shedeur, so we should go back to Dylan. Stefanski is likely the reason Jerry Jeudy was being so performative. Stefanski is likely the reason Jerry Jeudy was sharing a locker with Flacco. Stefanski is likely the reason that in the Ravens game when Shedeur got in, Jerry Jeudy stopped running his route at the 30. Go look at it. Stefanski is probably the reason in the Raiders game, Jerry Jeudy slowed down and started skipping to my loop. Stefanski is probably the reason. If you go back and look at the highlights of what y'all thought was an overthrown football, that ball lines right on up with Jerry Jeudy, and then it goes over his head. He could have kept running. But see, when you look at Jerry Jeudy's stats, they tell a story. And we're going to look at his stats. His stats tell a story. So Jerry Jeudy couldn't get the job done. So now I got the little girlfriend out here yapping that don't nobody like Shedeur, as if this is a popularity contest, as if Stefanski can trade Shedeur because everybody in the building, according to Dylan's little girlfriend, want Dylan to be the quarterback. No, they don't. But I tell you what about everybody in that building. It's a lot of intimidation going on. It's a lot of coercion. It's a lot of retaliation. It's a lot of corruption. Hear me when I say Shedeur Sanders is an elite QB1 working and playing football in a toxic workplace environment littered with corruption. And I do mean littered. And you know how you know it's toxic? What made Dylan's little girlfriend think it's okay for her to start popping off at the mouth that people don't like Shedeur? What makes her think that that's okay? What made Jerry Jeudy think that it was okay for him to try to humiliate Shedeur or embarrass Shedeur and play in his face in front of, 50, 70,000 people, 50,000 people, as well as the millions watching, and that Stefanski wouldn't have nothing to say about it, that Stefanski would be okay about it? What made him think that was okay? See, these people can't get rid of Shedeur and devalue him because he's playing well. So here we go with the character assassination, all the little antics, the hijinks, and things to try to make Shedeur seem like a distraction. So was Jerry Jeudy trying to bait Shedeur into a situation where he would get kicked off the team like Shiloh? That's a real question. Because you cannot possibly be mad about a ball that was right here, and all you had to do was run a little bit to get it. If you have the most drops, passes, catches in the league, the ball wasn't overthrown. You wasn't running hard to get it. And here's the thing. He did the same shit with Dylan. Now, his stats, if he had 8 targets, he only caught the ball 4 times. Now, Dylan is not that guy. So I didn't watch it, so I can't say that he dropped the passes on purpose, that he stopped running on purpose. What I can say, though, is with Shedeur, his numbers are already trending upward, and he's going to get to where he wanted to get. His numbers, though, where he was with Flacco are better. But Dylan, they're not good. We're going to take a look at him. So what Jeudy did was performative to cause a problem with Shedeur. And they wanted Shedeur to catch the heat for it. Like some people said it was an altercation. No, what? Shedeur was defending himself from somebody that was aggressively harassing him. And I want you to notice only one person got up from the team. Only one person got up from the team. And Shedeur gives them the best chance to win. No other veteran got up. Jerry Jeudy is a veteran, treating a rookie like this as if it's going to justify some asinine move that the Browns make at the end of the season to get rid of Shedeur. You're not trading Shedeur because Shedeur is a problem. Understand this. Shedeur has been a consummate professional the entire time. And he even let Jeudy talk to Jeudy till he realized what was going on. Oh, you came over here to pretend you want to talk, but you're really trying to cause a scene. So get the hell out of here, Jeudy. And when that don't work, we're going to try something else. And now, you think Dylan would be upset that his little girlfriend decided to start yapping about what people in the building think. How the hell do what people in the building think? Do you work there? Everybody in the building. So you talk to everybody in the building. Do they even like you? Are they telling you what you think you want to hear so you don't feel like you got a dud? You thought you was getting a baller. They lied to him and they lied to you. They lied to their fans and their fans are boycotted. And now you out here throwing the whole team under the bus because Dylan is not the starter. So that ought to tell Dylan that she might be a little gold digger. So he needs to go head on and maybe cut her loose. But then again, maybe he ain't gonna find nobody else. So he damned if he do, he damned if he don't. So Dylan's little girlfriend, just like Jerry Judy, didn't fear any kind of consequences for their wayward behavior, for their selfish behavior, for the personal attacks on the team and or their embarrassing behavior. So they just both selfish. That's what we supposed to think. So y'all let me know what you're thinking about the little girl, because people have gotten in on her. I think she just want to be one of them little Insta girls where she just out here trying to get clout and get a name for herself, thinking she got a baller who went to Oregon, but she got a dud that went to the Manny Passing Academy and they propped him up to hold back Shedeur. And now she pissed off about it. She a little delulu right now, but she'll understand. If she look at the numbers, her man was supposed to be undrafted. So enjoy the money, boo. Because that's going to be it. And if you mad, be mad at yourself, because all these dudes out here, and that's the one you chose. Or is that the one that chose you? So maybe just be grateful like Jerry Judy and shut the hell up. Maybe that's what you do. Be grateful, because if no other dude who was higher up in the draft chose you, then you not like that, boo. So maybe like Jerry Judy, just shut the hell up. Because nobody wants to hear what you have to say to tear down the team that your man is on. You're going to tear down every player on the team because your man can't be the starting quarterback. They didn't even bring him in for that. They didn't bring him in to win. That's obvious. See, they propped Dylan up to try to get him to win, and it didn't work. Shedeur can win, and they holding him back. What does that tell you about the Browns? I got Dylan because we weren't trying to win. If we were trying to win, we would have got some receivers. If we were trying to win, we would have got some O-linemen. No, we got Jerry Judy, who was a crash out from Denver. Then we got Dylan, who was an undrafted free agent. And then guess what we did? We pretended to be interested in Shedeur. And then we set it up so Deshaun would get injured. Sound like they got a black quarterback problem to me. That's what it's given. Until these black quarterbacks stop coming through, I'm going to just draft and destroy or trade and bench or injure. That needs to be looked into. That's negligence to let Deshaun get sacked 33 times last year and you don't go get an O-line this year. That's amazing. That meant you knew what your problem was and you decided not to fix it. And you want to talk about Shedeur having 3 sacks when he out here looking for somebody that's open because you didn't go get no top tier receivers. You didn't replace your O-line. You just went and get Dylan because you knew he couldn't get it done, which is why you got Quashawn Junkins and Dylan Sampson. The running backs were going to be the workhorses this year. And you conveniently got a return on your investment. The 2 picks you sent out for Shedeur, you got them back already with Pickett and Flacco. It's looking a little premeditated. The question is, how far back does the plot to draft a top black quarterback coming out last year with Shedeur's class, Cam Cass, and Milroe's class, how far back were they planning to take down whatever black quarterback it was that hit number 17? Those are real questions that need answers. And now that people admit that Haslam is the problem, who gonna start looking into get the answers? I mean, that's just what it is, right? You already know what it is. So Dylan's little girlfriend either clout chasing or she have a boyfriend regret that she got the wrong one and didn't nobody else choose her. Because I doubt if anybody else higher up on the food chain in the draft would have came along that she would have stuck with Dylan. I know it's not his personality. And it's probably not anything else. It's that, oh, he's going to be in the NFL. Okay. It's a lot of people in the NFL. going to be a quarterback in the NFL. There's a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL. But he's no star. And she seems to be having regrets. So that's where we are on her. All right, let's get over here to Jerry Jeudy stats. I want y'all to see something. The more you look at this situation in Jerry Jeudy and what Shedeur brought to the table, the more you can see that his behavior was performative, right? So first and foremost, Jerry Jeudy has the most drops through the 2025 season thus far of any wide receiver, right? So you're looking at the games right here, starting with September 9th with the Bengals. They lost that game. Jerry Jeudy had what? How many targets? How many receptions? Right? Let me make sure y'all can see my screen too. Okay, y'all can see it. Okay, and I'm over here to the left. All right, so as y'all can see, the first game is at 5 of 8. So a little bit above half. He had a total of 66 yards, but he had 13 yards on average, right? So it looked like it's going to be a decent season, right? Now, mind you, he wide receiver one, 41 million guaranteed, 53 or 58 with incentives, right? Again, he got this contract before he set foot on the Browns field after underperforming in Denver. Understand that. He had no touchdowns. A wide receiver with no touchdowns through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games. Through 5 games. Now, the switch came in Minnesota at game 5. I want you to notice when Flacco was at the helm. He had 66 yards, 51 yards. Then it started going down to 17 yards. Then when it got to, is that Detroit, it's 48. You can see when Dylan took over, right? We have 15 yards, 43, then 17. And it just starts going down. It just starts going down, right? Then he gets to the Jets game. Horrible. The Jets, he gets 78 yards. Let's see how many touchdowns he got. He only scored in the Jets game. He had 12 targets and only got 6 of them. That's half. And 1 touchdown. They paying this little dude, this the buster, 41 million guaranteed, and he only got 1 touchdown through how many games? And when Flacco was at the helm, he actually had the average yard per catch, 13.2, 12, 17, 16. Then when Dylan gets in, it's 7, 6, 6, 6, 5. Is that 0? 0. He didn't have no yards in one game. 0. And then he gets the touchdown with 70 some odd yards. Still, he's only 50-50 on his targets. This is who you pay a guaranteed $41 million for? I asked the question, what the hell did you hire him for? Because I don't think you hired him to be your best receiver. Because again, last year they had 2 receivers with over 1,000 yards, and they let the other guy go, and they kept Jerry Jeudy. And the first thing they had him do this year, after I noticed that Mary Cabot had him as a pinned tweet, was have him to be a locker mate with Flacco, which was telling him what to do. So it seems like they can stand him for some reason, right? Mary Cabot out here attacking Shedeur when he first get there, asking Flacco dumb questions like, is Shedeur a celebrity going to be a problem? Like trying to ensure or find a way to say Shedeur is a distraction before he even really get his feet wet on the ground. They didn't even know Shedeur, but they wanted to say he's a distraction because they didn't want him there, because they know they pre-draft with him until right before the draft. And it is called bait and switch. When you pre-draft with somebody for a long time and go, ooh, I changed my mind. But see, I don't think they thought people would know. Because why? The owner said in March, we still got Deshaun. You're going to have Deshaun next year, and we're going to be watching to see who you get as a quarterback. Because you say you couldn't get Shedeur because you got Deshaun. You still got Deshaun. You don't even want him to practice so he could be traded. You didn't even want Shedeur to develop so he could get traded. So you just collected black quarterbacks like Infinity Stones, and you over there using Jerry Jeudy, who you paid handsomely before he did any work for you for this year. Because look at what he has done. Nothing. And I mean nothing. This is supposed to be your wide receiver one, your first receiver on the depth chart, and he got 1 touchdown. So he didn't pop off at Flacco. right? No touchdowns. He didn't pop off at Flacco. And then he drops down to Dillon, and that's who he wants to start. That's who he out here caping up for. And he got 5 yards a catch, 6 yards a catch, at 7 yards a catch. And yet, look at what his targets are. 13 targets, and he caught Miami. 4 targets, he caught 2. New England, 2 targets, he caught none. So he just half and it. Like, what does he do? Does he go out here, I'm going to catch this one, but not this one. I'm going to catch the next one, but not the next one. I'm going to catch the next one, but not the next one. This is ridiculous. This kid seems more, this Jerry Jeudy seems more of a hired hand. At the same time, they went and got Charles Woodson, and they put Charles Woodson on ice until it was time for this draft. So they could do what? They could use him to say we're not racist. So Mary Cabot got Jerry Jeudy propped up on her pinned tweet. Flacco come to town. They forced him to share a locker with Flacco and Jerry Jeudy forced to be locker mates, right? Like Jeudy can't pick who it is he want to build chemistry with. He's forced to build chemistry with Flacco. But then Flacco gets out of here and they get their 5th round pick back for Shedeur, and people do not believe Dillon had a concussion. So as the Browns using injuries as a way to control the movement of quarterbacks, that's called collusion. When you restrict a player's movement, it's called collusion. But to get around collusion, well, he injured. So if it was premeditated for Jerry Jeudy to pop off on Shedeur, premeditated for Jerry Jeudy to be a locker mate with Flacco, the beginning and where we are now, was it premeditated for Jerry Jeudy to drop all of those passes, the few passes he got from Dillon? Or is Dillon that bad? So now I have to drop the passes with Shedeur. So Shedeur don't look better than Dillon because Dillon's little fiance is obviously upset that Shedeur looks better than Dillon. Something's premeditated. It's either Jerry Jeudy after underperforming in Denver, being overpaid, guaranteed $41 million, 58 with incentives total. It's his contract. Without doing any work. 2 receivers, over 1,000 yards, and they still only win 3 games. That's insane. To have receivers with 2,000 yards and y'all win 3 games? And then your star quarterback that you pay $230 million gets injured again because he gets sacked excessively through 7 games, 33 times. And then the insurance company picks up his salary. But you scapegoat Deshaun after the insurance company is paying him. Instead of you paying him, the insurance company paying. So you get to keep that money, but that's why you can't get Shedeur. And then you take Jameis Winston, who came in as the starter, and you ship him off to New York as a 3 or a 4. So you devalue him. You send Dorian Thompson-Robinson, who's also black, that you got in the 5th round after you made him play against Lamar Jackson, MVP, and you devalue him and send him as a 3rd string to Philly, and then he gets cut. So you boot DTR out, you boot PJ Walker out after he won 2 games for you back to back. Deshaun keep getting hurt. He can't play over 8 games in a season, but you blame him. You blame Andrew Berry for paying Deshaun $230 million when you know goddamn well 32 billionaires, and none of them black, letting Andrew Berry, who's black, give out $230 million guaranteed to any goddamn black football player, especially a quarterback. But when Stefanski get in trouble, now we got to fire Andrew Berry. See how all the targeting is toward the black people, except for Jerry Jeudy? Is it because he's supposed to be Haitian and not African American? So you think you're going to exploit that difference? You think he would be desperate enough to take down Shedeur for you? So you target him knowing he's not good. And when it's 2 receivers in over 1,000 yards, you keep him because he's not good. And then you don't get no wide receivers in the draft. You still want to roll with Jerry Jeudy as your one. even though you know he not good. You could have had him and the other guy, but you wanted to keep Jerry Jeudy. And then we have a team with a weak O-line that we don't upgrade, but we could. We need new receivers because we got rid of the other dude with 1,000 yards, but we don't do that. We don't get no receivers, but we could. We get some, and we get Dylan, which meant the running backs was going to do all the work. That's why we got 2. Now, you could have got Quinn Ewers if you wanted to win. But when you look at Jerry Jeudy's stats right here in the middle, when it starts at Minnesota, Dylan is so bad of a quarterback. Look at the drop-off between Flacco and Dylan. He went from 16 yards a catch to 7, then to 8, then to 8, then 9. Then he made it back to 13. And then the Baltimore 7. How many of them did he get from Shedeur? Oh, wait, that's right. Shedeur threw Jerry the ball on the right side of the field. And guess what happened? He stopped running at the 30. And you know what they said? Lack of chemistry. But he was forced to share a locker with Flacco. Flacco was his locker mate, not the future of the team, Shedeur Sanders. And Kevin Stefanski spent the whole offseason throwing reps to Dylan, giving reps to Flacco, giving reps to Pickett, and Pickett is gone, Flacco gone, and Dylan here, and he not good. So they took all of the reps and make sure Shedeur didn't get enough. But Shedeur did. He did damn good with what he had. And he still beat everybody out. But they still wanted to ignore him. You know what Shedeur did in the game yesterday? He did damn good with what he had. And now they still want to ignore him. And Stefanski want to talk about week to week. Who cares? Like Shedeur said, he just want to get out there and play. Understand, Shedeur has overcome these people. It don't matter what they do now. It really don't. They can't get to him. That's why Jerry Jeudy, no consequences through the Ravens game, the Raiders game. And did you hear any consequences since yesterday, the 49ers game? Somebody put together a little AI video of Shedeur being tied up in like a gold mine cart with the 49ers. I said the 49ers didn't tie up Shedeur. The Browns did. So somebody need to go back and redo that AI video and put together AI video in the coal mine with the 49ers, but with Kevin Stefanski pushing the cart with Shedeur in it, with Shedeur is roped up. That's the more accurate representation. Shedeur is an elite quarterback. QB1 held back all damn spring and summer and going 10 games. No first team reps, no time to build chemistry because he's not the guy, but he gets out here and he's the guy. You can just look at Jerry Jeudy's stats and see that Shedeur and Flacco were the 1 and the 2. And they knew Flacco couldn't give them more than, say, 6 or 7 games because he hasn't played a full season since 2017. And they knew Flacco was injury prone. So Flacco and Pickett were Band-Aids. But it seems like it is highly possible. I got Flacco and Pickett premeditated because I knew Shedeur was going to fall to me and I want to get my picks back. It's coming together. See, they can't take Shedeur down. Not Jerry Jeudy, not Dylan little girlfriend, not Stefanski. See, Shedeur is in a season where he is learning who's with him and who's against him. You know why? Because he's going to move on in this league and he's going to be a baller and he already bigger than NFL. But everything he has is just going to grow exponentially. And all of those people who hated on him, who watched that Jerry Jeudy didn't come get Jerry Jeudy, all those people who trashed him. See, Shedeur is learning who it is you could take with you before God sends you on to the next step. It's a whole lot of people out here using Shedeur name for clickbait and not talking the truth about what's really going on. He sees that. And if he don't see it, like he said, I got people everywhere. That's going to tell him, oh, bro, they was rolling with you at Colorado, but man, they up here acting like, that's just what's going to happen. Shedeur is learning who his employer truly is. He's learning what really happened in the draft, and he's learning you can't take everybody with you. So let me show you who it is that's really for you. Because what do we know about life when things get bad? That's when you find out who rolling with you. Not the people like, damn, man, they ain't let Shedeur play, so I'm just going to scoot on and support somebody else. Like Dylan's little girlfriend. The Browns losing, so she want to trash the whole team. And she want to make it seem like it's because her man ain't playing. No, it's because she pissed that her man is a... That's all it is. And she lashing out on the internet, and she don't respect Dylan. When people disrespect your employer publicly, they don't like you because that's where your money come from. So what you doing? But all you gotta do is look at Jerry Jeudy's stats. Funny. What Mike Florio said, the Browns will be the Browns as long as Haslam is the owner. When somebody gonna go the next step and push for him to be forced to sell his team? I asked, was this the week? And he is getting the smoke. Why hasn't Jeudy been suspended? Why we don't hear any type of he's benched for the rest of the season? I mean, to be honest with you, it's crazy you kept putting him out here. It's crazy you kept putting him out here because you paying him $41 million and he got one touchdown. One touchdown. How many? One. He got one touchdown. $41 million, one touchdown, and you keep putting him out there. You don't want to go to nobody else. It has to be Jerry Jeudy because that's what you paid for. That's what you paid the $41 million guaranteed for because you knew he was trash when he left Denver. And you paid him before he showed you what he could do. And y'all had two receivers in 2,000 yards. It still went 3 games. So you knew you could fix this year because you fixed last year. And you knew you could devalue Shedeur because you devalued Jameis Winston. I got news for you. Shedeur ain't no damn Jameis Winston. I like Jameis Winston. But don't you dare. Jameis Winston been in this league. Shedeur is a rookie. Jameis is a cool dude. And I'm sure if they were in New York together, it would be fine. But to try to sit up here and compare Dylan to Shedeur and say they had the same starts. No, because you're trying to manipulate the stats. And if you're willing to manipulate Shedeur's stats by holding him back, you don't want to win. And that's why you got Dylan. Because you knew you couldn't win with him. You knew Flacco couldn't go the whole season. You know Kenny Pickett was injury prone. You didn't get no O-lineman. You didn't get no receivers. And you got a $41 million receiver with one touchdown who want to post up on a quarterback. If you look at Shedeur playing just through the Vegas Raiders and the 49ers, who got this fool with 29 and 39 goddamn yards. Way better than anything that Dylan did. So it's looking like Jerry Jeudy's performance was premeditated to make Shedeur be a distraction, something they've been trying to prove since Mary Cabot asked Flacco, is Shedeur a celebrity going to bother you? And he was like, what the hell did I get myself into? And I know why Flacco was pissed off, because he didn't get off his couch for $4 million. Flacco's contract was $13 million with incentives. And I asked, how the hell is he going to get that? He wasn't going to never get that. See, they playing everybody. They playing everybody. But when it comes to the black quarterbacks, they try to destroy them. See, cheating in business, it happens all the time. Undervaluing people, that happens all the time. But gross negligence, racism, discrimination, and you only doing this to black quarterbacks, and the black quarterbacks like Shedeur or Deshaun can't get out even when there's a trade request for them or you don't want Deshaun to practice. Racism. Racism. And Stefanski seems to be the one who's perfect for the job because he spent the whole offseason letting us know we don't think you worthy of being a quarterback. And we've never drafted a black quarterback in the first round, and we were not about to draft you. So we got you for a deep discount. And like Jameis Winston, we're going to try to ship you out of here as a QB3 or a QB4. You know what today's narrative was? I didn't listen to one video. I just looked to see how many people were going to have the same talking points. Oh, Shedeur is just average. Bullshit. Shedeur is above for average. His actual stats were actually better than who? Brock Purdy. So for the Titans game, they already took Teller out the game. How many people knew they kept taking O-linemen out? They put Jenkins in, the guy that they got from Chicago that was never a starter. That Shedeur probably didn't really maybe practice with that much. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. How many of y'all know they took number 55 out? So they took their best O-lineman out, even when the O-line is not that good. But I'm going to take out the best that I have and pretend that they're injured. See what I mean? How they always going back to these injuries? It's giving fraud. It's giving corruption, and injuries are the way you control the movement. Now, here's the thing. 77 might not have a real injury, but if the doctor say, hey, I can't let you play, what are you going to do? Just like Shedeur, they said, we don't think he's ready yet. Fraud. Deshaun. Did the insurance company know Deshaun was sacked excessively and agree to pay $46 million for somebody that they let get hurt through negligence, gross negligence? I know how insurance companies work. Why would they be happy to pay Deshaun's salary when they keep letting him get hurt, letting him get sacked? Who the insurance company? Is he related to whoever owned the insurance company? Fraud. It needs to be looked into. Haslam should be fired. And if the owners and the fans, if the fans can't make it happen, Congress, somebody gonna have to make it happen. Because Mike Florio, this is the only time I'm going to agree with him, was correct. As long as Haslam owns this team, the corruption will remain. The dysfunction will remain. And black quarterbacks will be devalued and discriminated against and injured, like Deshaun and Shedeur, scapegoated like Jameis Winston, probably PJ Walker, not real opportunity, set up to fail, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, going all the way back to Hugh Jackson. Hugh Jackson alleged that when Haslam was the owner, he was incentivized to lose games. Just like who? Brian Flores in Miami. Then they had a quarterback that they drafted out the second round and wanted him to be their franchise QB and left him in to go 0-15. He was black. And he said, I'm getting worse every week. They didn't care to embarrass him. They want Shedeur to be embarrassed about last night. But there are 10 million people out here letting Jerry Jeudy know he need to go find his mind and quickly. Shedeur is the star quarterback of this team, and he can win. But the problems are, it seems Haslam doesn't want to, and he's using Stefanski to make sure they don't win, and Jerry Jeudy is a part of the plot when Shedeur is the quarterback. They didn't have nothing to say about Dylan underperforming, but they want to hold Shedeur back to Dylan's low standards of 1-5 record. That's why the 49ers, Brock Purdy was allowed to run around all night. And it's seemingly the number 2 defense in the league couldn't stop him until the fourth quarter. What a coincidence. Then they want to come out and say Shedeur was taken down by the 49ers. Shedeur was taken down by the Browns. Shedeur has to defeat the Browns every single week. Shedeur has to defeat Kevin Stefanski, lamed up game manager game plan to bypass Shedeur. He got to defeat Tommy Reese from saying things like winning or losing isn't the goal. Learning the process is. So I'm going to run the ball 4 times with Quinshon Judkins for a whole damn drive. Using Quinshon Judkins and these running backs to bypass Shedeur when you needed them to bypass Dylan. All that's happening is Dylan is here, Shedeur is here, and they want to assassinate his character and his skill set and lie about it like they did in the draft to say we did right by trading away the number 2 pick and not getting you because your skill set is outdated. You have a retro style pocket passer. We don't want a pocket passer, but you got Dylan, a game manager. So you lowballed and devalued Shedeur, and you ended up with him anyway. And now he up here, and you want him to come down here because you got Dylan. That's your problem. the public not going to even let you do that. And just because Stefanski is in trouble and don't want to get in trouble no more and out here pretending like he should do a friend, you want to use Jerry Jeudy. Who you going to use next week? Because we already know Teller is out. So Shedeur should already know to look for the O-line, and you're going to run the ball on the first and the second down. So Shedeur know he only got third down to get something done. And then the OC, Tommy Rees, want him to stay in the pocket behind a bad O-line. So you're setting him up to fail. And Jerry Jeudy, Tommy Rees, Kevin Stefanski, and Jimmy Haslam are all in on it. Dylan's stats proves that. Jerry Jeudy's stats proves that. Shedeur's stats through only 2 games, it proves that. All you got to do is look at wide receiver 1 through 3 different quarterbacks and see that there was no possible way that Jerry Jeudy could be genuinely upset at Shedeur for getting him more yardage than Dylan did, putting him closer in line to where Flacco was. And that's all while Shedeur is wearing handcuffs. Jerry Jeudy should have been grateful, but just like he was forced to share a locker with Flacco, they telling him what to do again. They're not letting Jerry Jeudy make his own decisions. He can't gravitate towards Shedeur. He has to gravitate towards Dylan. Is that what they paid him $41 million for? Because it surely was not to score touchdowns. Jerry Jeudy should be investigated for fraud. The Browns need to be investigated for corruption. I have said it before, Haslam should be forced to sell. The longer Haslam holds on to Stefanski, it will all blow up. I asked, when is it going to be fire Haslam? It's this week. And a lot of people know that. People that understand business, people that understand the law, they know no normal business could get away with this. So you got a lot of help. You got a lot of help to take down an elite quarterback that you can win with because you don't want to win with a black quarterback. You don't want to win this year. You didn't want to win with Jameis Winston. You don't want to win with Deshaun. So you just collecting black quarterbacks like Infinity Stones. So as you can see, Shedeur already had Jerry Jeudy back better than he pretty much was consistently. This tells you right here, if you look at the 39 yards and you look at the 20, was that 25, 26? That tells you right there, right? He already consistently trending upward. He wasn't consistent before unless it was up here with Flacco. This was the most consistent he was. 13, 12, 17, 16 yards per carry. 66, 51. Then it starts to drop off. 17, then 48, then 15, right? And then you can see the obvious drop off from Dylan. But you mad at Shedeur. You wasn't mad at Shedeur. You was performing, trying to embarrass Shedeur, trying to make it stay Shedeur as a distraction. What you thought, he was going to pop you in your mouth? There's other people that could do that. Shedeur has been a professional the entire time, harassed the entire time. Abused by Stefanski is documented all spring and summer long. Cheated, devalued, discriminated against, set up to fail over and over every single game. And yet 10 million people can see, damn, this kid is actually good. Right. Because what does my caption say? Shedeur Sanders is an elite QB1 playing football and working in a toxic environment that is sick. And Stefanski's behavior has been allowed to, and then you got Jerry Jeudy's behavior that has been allowed with no consequences. And now you got Dylan's little girlfriend. No consequences. But that couldn't be Shedeur girlfriend. That couldn't be Shedeur. And it definitely couldn't be a coach that was black. So Jerry Jeudy was pretending. The plan is to make Shedeur seem difficult, make him seem a distraction, bait him in, throw him off his game, set him up to fail, character assassination, devalue his skill set so he cannot be traded as a QB1. We don't want to win with you, and we don't want to trade you as a QB1. What did Andrew Berry say? Shedeur Sanders will outproduce his draft stock. I said win. They said 4 games. Kevin Stefanski said that's speculation. Every time Stefanski makes a decision, it blows up. It gets overruled. People start asking questions. And yet Haslam insists on tethering himself to Stefanski and Jerry Jeudy. Good luck with that. So let me see what y'all saying about all of this, because it's just really a waste of Shedeur's talent and time. And everybody, and I do mean everybody over there with the Browns that had anything to do with Shedeur's pre-draft process, draft process, if they haven't been fired, should be fired. Dink Donk Dylan and Stephanie gonna fall out real soon. Yeah, she gonna leave him. And say you gotta watch them AI videos. And it could be fake, but my point is about the AI videos. Whoever made the video to say that Shedeur was tied up by the Browns, by the 49ers, should have edited the video to show that Shedeur was tied up by his own team. That's my point. Real to fake. They just had the wrong people bringing Shedeur down. It's really the Browns. He has to defeat the Browns and Stefanski and Tommy Rees and Jerry Jeudy every week. It said Jerry needs to make some plays. Yeah, his stats are bad. His Jerry Jeudy stats are bad. It said number 3 is getting cooked by the internet right now. Yeah, of course he is. It said right now as Queen chats. I believe it. It said yes for real. Coach Prime said in the Raiders box, not with the Browns. Says a lot, doesn't it? Says a lot. You know why? Because they guilty. They guilty. You think Coach Prime, you think the Sanders family, you think Shedeur don't have evidence that those people were going to draft him at number 2? What do you think made Stefanski tell Shedeur, I told you the Lord works in mysterious ways? See that conversation right there? That conversation is proof that they were going to get him. The interesting part is, when did that conversation take place? Because what happened on April 4th is documented. They came to see if they want to get Shedeur and Travis. So you had interest in both of them 2 weeks before the draft. Okay, that's bait and switch. So Shedeur has evidence. I keep saying it. It said Jerry ain't made a play all year. One touchdown, and nobody's benching him or making adjustments. They just keep putting him out there. They start the game with him like he's that guy. They treat him like he's that guy, but he's underperforming when Dylan is the quarterback. So did I get Dylan because I don't want to win? You mad because Shedeur is making you look good? Make it make sense. Shedeur got him trending consistently upward. He can get to those 1,000 yards, but he mad. I wasn't supposed to catch the ball from you. If you go back and look at that play, it was a catchable ball. Shedeur's taking credit for things, or not credit, but just basically saying, my bad. He ain't do nothing. Go back and look. Everybody knows Shedeur is accurate. And what was the first thing he did? Try to seem like Shedeur is a problem. That was his whole goal. After he slowed up, this is 3rd time slowing up. Why would anybody believe he didn't slow up when he stopped running on the 30 in the Ravens game? When he started skipping to Malu and slowed down so somebody could come get the ball for him. And then he slowed down and immediately began to complain like Shedeur is a problem. And when that didn't work, he had to go on to the sideline and try to make Shedeur seem like a problem. This is premeditated. This is premeditated to make Shedeur seem like a problem. And he's not. Stefanski, Tommy Rees, Jerry Jeudy, and Dylan Little Girlfriend make this organization toxic. For Tommy Rees to say that Shedeur is ready to play, but then want him to stay in the pocket, knowing the O-line isn't good. But then they keep taking the O-line people out, the best ones they have, and putting in the worst. And he got to get over that sabotage to stay open long enough for somebody to get to their spot. People he don't really know, because he didn't get to work out with the ones. So what I'm saying is, the Browns have made intentionally every week that Shedeur has an opportunity to play, the degree of difficulty extremely high, and he still scores a touchdown. And then they clamp down the offense. Pat Schumer. For Colorado know exactly what's going on. Jerry Jeudy was pretending his goal, his job. They left him in the game. This one touchdown, $41 million. That's fraud right there. And you won't bench him. You didn't make adjustments after he stopped running on his route. You made excuses. Oh, he has no chemistry. Whose fault is that? That is actually Stefanski's fault. Like Shedeur said, it's going to take time. You can't just microwave this. We got to work together. Stefanski took all offseason to waste time to keep Shedeur from getting chemistry and ready. He should have been fired already, but Stefanski want to keep him. What value is he? Not to win football games, just like they didn't pay Jerry Jeudy $41 million to make touchdowns because he only had one, and they haven't made any adjustments, and they haven't benched him for his behavior. This was all intentional to make Shedeur seem difficult when this kid has been nothing. Shedeur, young man, has been nothing but professional. Oh, Stephanie is Kevin. That's hilarious. It said, Lady T, that is something, isn't it? It said, Coach Prime is not trying to deal with these snakes. No, he's not. It said, Jerry is from the Cowboys, need to come out and get Shedeur prime time. So you think somebody would have rescued him by now? Like they tried to rescue Bryce Young. It says Shedeur is smart. Let us do the talking for him. Facts. Yeah, he don't need to say nothing. He don't need to say nothing. That's why they talking about the Shedeur Sanders fan base is a cult. I'm like, so the NFL fans are a cult because y'all want to act like Shedeur Sanders fans are not fans of other teams. And I know y'all know better. I know you know better. Because how many people bought his jerseys? Right. Okay. You know better. You just want to pretend. See, you want to feed the public who already know who Shedeur is, who already can see with their own eyes. This kid is elite. Right. He's elite in a toxic environment. Why has no one come to rescue him? What a commission at? What a players association at? No, they want to stick with their lie that Coach Prime was a problem. Coach Prime was never a problem. They stabbed that man in the back so much. Did you see how much weight he lost? And that was before. It's a lot of premeditated, nefarious activity happening to hold back black quarterbacks, including Shedeur Sanders. I don't know if what they doing to Shedeur is worse or what they did to Deshaun. See, it's confusing that they pay you $230 million. But then again, maybe it's not. Maybe you and your lawyer know why you got paid $230 million. But you would think what? You would think that I would capitalize and try to get my money back. No, but I get a new stadium and I've been trash. Quid pro quo. Maybe it went something like this. You give Deshaun this contract, even though 12 other teams want him. We're going to send him to the Browns and you can get you a new stadium. Donated $1 million and got $600 million back in form of a new stadium. That's some serious ROI there. Premeditated, nefarious activity, corruption. And everybody know it because they talking about it. But nobody's talking about a solution. Nobody's talking about a solution. Next year, Jerry from the Cowboys. Hey, how you doing? How you doing, Crawley? It said Travis would have definitely caught that ball. Anybody that was running, hell, Isaiah Bond would have caught the ball. Did you notice the pass was not to Isaiah Bond? Did you notice Jerry Jeudy when Harold Fanning Jr.? See, Shedeur is smart. Jerry Jeudy thought that because he working with Stefanski more than likely, that Shedeur was forced to throw him the ball. Turned out it didn't work out like that. Shedeur threw that touchdown to Harold Fanning Jr. and Jerry Jeudy was patting his head because he didn't get it. Because he's being exposed. Somebody said it. I said, is it good for Shedeur to have thrown to 6 receivers? I think it was still early in the game. And they said, well, one thing about it, Jerry gonna dig himself in a hole. And he did. Everybody else could catch the ball. The wind wasn't a problem for anybody else. People think the wind was bad on the ball to Isaiah Bond. No, Shedeur was. Why? Because they took the best O lineman out. So Shedeur could get pressured. Nefarious, fraudulent, corrupt, toxic. If they weren't mentally trying to tear him down all spring and summer, they are physically trying to tear him down so he could be devalued and not traded as an elite QB1. That's why the media was like, Shedeur's average. That's bullshit. We could all see he's above average. When you make the most out of a little bit and you still score even though they don't want you to, they tried the Wildcats and the pressure, the voices got loud. So they moved off of that, start taking the O-lineman out, and Jerry Jeudy had to be the recipient of the ball. But guess what? It proves that if Jerry Jeudy can't get it done, Harold Fettig Jr. can. And then what are they saying? Man, the whole special teams coach need to be fired. What about Stefanski? What about Stefanski? You want to fire the special teams coach, but you don't want to fire Stefanski. Why Stefanski didn't make adjustments with Jerry Jeudy? See, this is what happened last year. Stefanski turned over his headset after Deshaun got injured, and they fired the OC that called the rest of the plays when Stefanski was the problem. And this is what Haslam allows. So now you know people know Haslam is a problem. Now you know people know as long as Haslam is the owner, the team will be dysfunctional. And let me know when you start hearing people coming up with solutions. Travis would have caught that ball. Hell, a lot of people would have, to be honest, if they wanted to get it. Isaiah Bond, he's hungry. You can see he wanted to get it. He tried to get the ball as it was wobbling in the air, that Shedeur, because he was being pressured. And yet this kid, Shedeur, can stand in the face of pressure and not blink and still get the ball off. It said Jeudy slowed down and mad because Shedeur threw to Harold Fettig Jr. Right. So guess what? I couldn't get you, so I'm gonna make you look stupid. No, that ain't what you gonna do. And I bet you know that now. I said it yesterday. He out his rabbit mind, and I suggest he hurry up and go find it. See, he want to be important because they paid him $41 million, just like Dylan. He acted just like Dylan. Acting all high and mighty like I'm good. No, they hired Dylan because he's not good, and they hired you as a patsy. Yeah, that's exactly what they did. And you fell for it. Just like Dylan. Talking all that noise about Shedeur, and he trash. Now his girlfriend mad because she would have done. He didn't even turn his head, to get the ball. We talked about that when we were live. I said this fool didn't even turn his head. He wasn't even trying to get it, but instantly want to make Shedeur seem problematic. That's how you know that's what his job was in the game. That's why they refused to take him out. That's why they refused to put somebody in so they could try to win. This fool has one touchdown through how many games? And you paying him how much? This is where forensic accounting comes in at. I need to look at your books. I need to see how much you're paying everybody. And I'm willing to bet you're going to find it paying the wrong people and underpaying the right people. Because when you think about it, I'm overpaying Dylan, but Quashawn Junkins got to do all the work. Or Dylan Sampson got to do all the work. Or Jerome Ford got to do all the work. I'm underpaying Shedeur. I got Flacco off his couch for $4 million plus $13 million in incentives, and he ain't see none of that. And Flacco knew when he saw Dylan playing, I ain't gonna never get these incentives. I didn't get off my couch for this. That's exactly what he realized. He like, hell no, I ain't gonna never get to that $13 million. He didn't get off his couch for $4. He got off his couch for the incentives. Jerry Jeudy got 58 incentives. How the hell he gonna get it? Because he a slacker. He good with the 41. Who crazy enough to pay Jerry Jeudy $41 million? The timing of his contract says so much. It said Jerry Jeudy is just a guy. It said it's probably the reason why Jeudy never said anything to Dylan Gabriel, because Dylan is just a guy too. Right. They know what time it is. And it's not a coincidence to me that Dylan's girlfriend acting like Jerry Jeudy. It said even Uncle Neely is on some BS about Shedeur with his what? What's going on? It said J5 and Wester would have caught that pass. Will Shepard, all of them. Hell, Omarion definitely would have caught it. You see what I'm saying? Shedeur it seemed like to me, more elite people in college. But see, here's the thing. They could have got some wide receivers in the draft, but no, you wanted to get Mason Graham. You know why you didn't want to get no wide receivers? Because they black. See, they didn't want to pay Shedeur $46 million. So they traded that pick away so they could get a first round pick. They want to move up one spot to get a white quarterback, even though they still got Deshaun, but that's why they didn't get Shedeur. But I could pay Mason Graham probably close to what I was going to pay Shedeur. Why you ain't getting no receivers? Because they black. Because you ain't want to win this year because you got Jerry Jeudy. You already paying a receiver $41 million. They can't help you do shit, but that's why you got it. So they wanted to lose. They wanted to go 3-14 this year, 3-14 this year, and Stefanski's job is safe. How is it you could declare Stefanski's job is safe and he under 500? Your fans upset because Stefanski is doing what we want him to do. Lose. That's why we only paying him $3.5 million. Understand this. The owners get a $400 million check regardless of win or lose. So my job, Andrew Barry's job, is to make sure we pay the least amount of money for the people we need so we can help them lose. But I'm going to use Jerry Jeudy for something else because I already know who coming out of school in the 2025 draft. Yeah, they already knew. You can look and see where they were at the end, and I'm talking about black quarterbacks because they always lying about the white quarterbacks. But the black quarterbacks, they had Cam and they had Shedeur at the bottom. So I'm already paying attention in May of 2024 when they hit the top 10 with Milroe. But then when we get to October and Shedeur gets to first pick in the draft, that's when the Browns are interested. Yeah. So they show up early and often. The Shrine Bowl, the first opportunity. Shedeur, we don't want you to work out. No one ain't wasn't gonna draft him. Because they've never had a black first round quarterback drafted ever. Just like the Saints. Never. The Giants. Never. And they still don't. It's giving bait and switch. It's giving bait and switch. It's giving premeditated. It's giving fraud. It's giving corruption. It said Queen is on a new level chat. Pay attention. It said hit the like and subscribe. Thank you so much. It said Jerry Jones is behind the owners not picking Shedeur. Facts. It said Jerry got mad at Dion because Dion wouldn't be the head coach of the Cowboys. No. Coach Prime knew he was never going to be the head coach of the Cowboys. So no, you right and you missed on the end part. No, that wasn't gonna never work. Coach Prime has said it multiple times. He knows who these people are. What he never expected is for his son's talent to be dismissed the way it was. Because that was kind of new. That was kind of new. For Shedeur to be so elite, they all went on it. Haslam too. That's why he told you all carelessly. He won my pick like he's nothing. Like you can't win with him. That's why Stefanski still have a job because they don't want to win with Shedeur. I ain't want to win with Dylan either. I just wanted to wait to get my white quarterback next year and y'all cause problems. I told you at the beginning of the season, the Browns just want to get through the season so fast. But their foot is caught in the damn screen door. It said Jerry Jones is behind it. So no, it's not about that. It's not about Jerry Jones being upset with Coach Prime. It's about 17-32. It's about 17 black starting quarterbacks playing on Sundays. Something that has never happened. 17 black starting quarterbacks is historic, just like 16 black starting quarterbacks was this year. So if I know who's coming out of school, or if I try to rig it so that it's this person and not that person. When it was Lenore Sellers, what happened? He got concussed. So he unavailable for the first round. This might be the first year that there is no black starting quarterback by design. They made sure it was only one. It was supposed to be 3. They made sure Cam was the only one. And how many times he been sacked? So what they trying to prove? We shouldn't have drafted him either. But we had to get somebody black so they wouldn't think we're what? Racist. Why they got Charles Woodson? It said paid 3 to sabotage Shedeur at all costs. Yep, that's what it's giving. That's what it's looking like. It's looking like that's all Jerry Jeudy's job was. Think about it. They got Charles Woodson, right, at the Vegas Super Bowl, but didn't install him until the New Orleans Super Bowl, and they leaked the story because I announced the story before they voted on it. And all of this was around coming up to the draft. So if I get a black limited partner, Where is he? He can't come outside. He can't help y'all mitigate these issues with Stefanski. I mean, the Buffalo Bills did send Tracy McGrady out there to talk to Keon Coleman. I mean, it didn't matter, but they did. Where's Charles Woodson? How can he be a new partner? See, that's what happened. I go get a new black limited partner while I got Shedeur tied up to a tree and he can't say nothing. But it makes me look like I'm not racist. That's why I got Andrew Berry. I don't look like I'm racist with Andrew Berry and a black limited partner. I don't look like I'm racist paying Jerry Jeudy $41 million. It's exactly what the media says. Shedeur's just not that good. That's a lie. That's a lie. So they know how to strategically use black people and make them public facing positions so you won't think that they're racist. But that's exactly what they are. It said the media can't hurt the Shedeurians because we apply pressure. Right. That's why Stefanski got Jerry Jeudy. It's exactly why. Max Crosby says Shedeur should have been a Raider. It said, love me some Max. He the real deal. Oh, really? Okay. All right. That's good. That's good. Oh, I forgot to tell y'all. I got something new in the mail. Yes, you see it. Full sleeves. 12 on the back. I forgot to tell y'all. I was going to do it like an unboxing, but I already opened it. She said sportsstore.com. What she said, sports.com. Go get yours. People like these. And it come in like 3 different colors. It's the orange Shedeurian on the front. So show your Shedeurian pride. And you got the 12 on the back. So without a doubt, they know who you're rolling with. They know who you're rolling with. And the sleeves are cute, y'all. So it's a blousey fit. And it's like a cute, like blousey type sleeve is cute. Kind of like bougie, you know, like cute, chic. Right. Fellas, get your lady one. Unless you want to wear it. No judgment. No judgment. All right. It said all the owners are loyal and staying at the collusion code. Right. Totally agree. Because they've gotten away with it so many times before that they feel like if we just keep pressing forward, we'll make it. It said, yeah, Max the real one. He got on his own teammate for a dirty hit. Oh, really? Really? It said, but they never asked Kevin them questions. Right. And they not even asking Kevin about things like, well, do you think it would have made sense to give Shedeur first team reps when you gave them to Dylan? You see, they never asked him that question. They know what they're doing. That's how you know they are protecting Kevin Stefanski despite him tearing his team apart, because that is his job, which is why he's one of the lowest paid coaches. He wasn't hired to win. He was hired to destroy the careers of some black quarterbacks. Going all the way back to Jacoby Brissett, PJ Walker, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, Deshaun Watson, Jameis Winston, Shedeur Sanders. That's his job, because that's exactly what he has tried to do. And in some cases, successful. In fact, all except for Shedeur. And then he show up with millions of fans. So it's a fight. It says Sanders just handed the rope to Kevin. It said Jerry Jeudy and Dylan Gabriel, along with his fiance, and they all should be removed from the Browns organization. There might be some outstanding gambling happening. People do think it's gambling. I asked, and what did I do? I asked people, I looked at the poll for, I did a poll. Hold on one second. I did a poll, and I looked to see where people were on the poll. People really had some really good takes. I think people say they should be investigated. Let's see if I can share that. Oh, I asked another question too. I asked, I did. I guess I asked some questions today. Oh, I celebrated Bucky's birthday. So if y'all haven't seen that yet, it's Bucky's birthday. So it was a picture of Bucky and Snow. A lot of people said Snow looked like Bucky. I'm like, I kind of could see that. And maybe he around him a lot. I don't know. There was one poll I did. It said people are talking. People are talking. Let me know your thoughts. It said, do you believe Kevin Stefanski and Jerry Jeudy are working together to sabotage the Browns games since Shedeur has become QB1? Let me share this with y'all. I think this is good. And things like this, these are conversations that the media should be having, right? They can phrase it differently. they could ask the question, is Kevin Stefanski, is something going on with Jerry Jeudy? But no, they want to protect Jeudy, which is why he's still on the team. He has not been dismissed. They owe him $41 million. Who else is going to want a quarterback through 12, 13 games? Who wants a wide receiver that hasn't scored one touchdown? That means they overpaid him. They paid him for something else other than his services. They didn't even, they paid him before he set foot on the field. That's crazy to me. But then you look and you see what's going on now, and you like, oh, okay, so you paid him to use him this year. Right. Just like Stefanski. He not a well-paid coach. So what did you use him for? So basically, like I said, Stefanski's behavior, now Jerry Jeudy's behavior, even Dylan's little toxic fiance are exposing the Browns for a toxic, corrupt workplace. Yep. They trying to bully Shedeur through social media. Jerry trying to bully Shedeur on the sideline. Kevin Stefanski tried to bully Shedeur the whole damn season. And people saying Shedeur taking up for Stefanski. I'm like, then you wasn't listening to what the hell he said. When Shedeur said it's going to take time, that ain't taking up for Stefanski. That's telling you he didn't get the time. And you need to ask Stefanski why he didn't. He not taking up for Stefanski, but he not going to sit up here and be baited in with your questions. And those media people shouldn't even be allowed back in. But you see, they allow the harassment of Shedeur to continue. You see? All of that to try to mentally, emotionally, and physically tear down Shedeur before he leaves the Browns. Because why ever would they keep him next year? And if they thought about keeping him QB2 when they get their white quarterback or whoever the hell it is, oh, they thought wrong. They thought wrong. Believe me, they thought wrong. So let me show this poll to y'all. I think I had 2 of them. And so you can see for yourself what I always like to get the polls of people to see what they really thinking, right? I mean, I have my own commentary, but I like to check in with people and see what it is that they're thinking. All right, here we go. Let me know. Here we go. You should be able to see my screen. I'm over here. All right, let's see here. Okay, it said people are talking. Let me know your thoughts. Do you believe Kevin Stefanski and Jerry Jeudy are working together to sabotage the Browns games since Shedeur Sanders became QB1? 94 votes. The consensus is yes. 66% of people believe that Jerry Jeudy and Kevin Stefanski are working together to sabotage Shedeur Sanders. Now, here's the thing. It don't matter if it's 3,000 people. The point is, the trend is what? People believe that there's fraud happening, that these two are working together. Some people believe that, there's corruption, and some people believe that Jerry Jeudy is point shaving, but that means he's acted independently. So I asked the question this way intentionally to see if people felt like they were working together. Now, the people that said no, 10%, they were like, nah. And some people said, I'm not really sure, right? But overwhelmingly, 66% of people believe that Kevin Stefanski and Jerry Jeudy are working together to take down Shedeur Sanders at the quarterback position, set him up to fail since he became QB1. And there's evidence that should launch it actually should prompt an investigation, starting with the Ravens game. So as you can see, people, that's how they feel. They're like, you know what? Something's not right. And on my other poll, that's what people say. I don't really know what's going on, but I know something is not right. And now after the 49ers game, they're saying what? Jerry Jeudy and Stefanski working together. You haven't heard the media ask Stefanski about, well, if Jerry Jeudy was sharing a locker with Flacco, why is it that Shedeur didn't get the opportunity to work out with the ones? Because that means Jerry Jeudy, wide receiver 1, you must have thought Flacco was going to start the season. So you wanted the chemistry to be there. Why didn't you work or plan for Shedeur to have chemistry just in case? And you know what people are saying? It says a lot that Dylan had to get hurt for Shedeur to get in, and Shedeur is better than Dylan. I said it says a lot that people don't believe Dylan is actually hurt. It was premeditated for Shedeur to get in and get robbed at the same time. Dylan, I don't know how on earth he could possibly have a concussion when the Ravens basically tiptoed around him, but went in on Shedeur. Now, how does another team decide that I'm going to protect the opposing quarterback? You saw it last night. You saw the Browns protect Brock Purdy. That's what you saw. You can go watch every game the Browns play when they are aggressive. You can see they weren't aggressive, and they play in the cold. They used to playing in the cold. Now, the special teams they're trying to blame, I'm going to just say this. I don't know if them dudes used to playing in the cold like that, but they did have a lot of drops, and they are talking about the special teams coach. It's funny. They want to fire Andrew Berry. They want to fire the special teams coach. When y'all going to fire Stefanski? Because that's your major problem. If you move Stefanski out the way, $41 million Jerry Jeudy gets benched. And then you got to ask yourself some real questions. Why the hell did we pay you $41 million? That is why he's not benched. That's it. And Stefanski knows where the bodies are buried. That's why he still has a job. They know what they asked him to do. They know they didn't pay him to be a coach. $3.5 million, and he one of the lowest paid coaches, and he won Coach of the Year twice. Yeah, okay. It wasn't for coaching. It was to lend credibility. Don't have none. Shedeur is underrated with the Browns. Jerry Jeudy looked mean and jealous. Yep, people do believe that Jerry Jeudy is jealous. There are people who said, I think he just jealous. I think he just jealous because Shedeur is getting all of the attention, right? I'm like, okay, maybe he is jealous. Why now? He ain't been jealous through 10 games with Shedeur on the side? He wasn't jealous in the Raiders game? Of course he was. Jerry Jeudy's job was to make Shedeur look like a problem. That's why when he slowed down, the first thing he did was shake his head, and people said, damn, he a bad teammate. People say he have embarrassed himself. Were there any consequences from the Browns? I know Jerry Jeudy better keep his hands to himself. Because when you let people get away with the type of foolishness that he did, it said, congratulations, sis, on getting your 6,000 subs. Thank you so much. I know it shocked me. I was like, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank y'all so much. It said they're trying to turn Gage. He catch a punt and got no further than 10 yards. Right. I'm not surprised at that. I kind of felt like, you know, I told y'all when it was the summer and somebody announcer said, you know, I think Shedeur and Gage know what each other thinking. I said, oh, here we go. Here we go. And what did they do? They elevated Gage away from the team Shedeur was on. That was supposed to be a slap in the face. Just like Coach Prime with Rob Livingston. Coach Prime brought in Rob Livingston. Even though Shedeur didn't bring in Gage, he helped bring Gage along. He helped to develop Gage. And they advanced Gage to level 3, level 2, first team, second team, or whatever, but not Shedeur. Same thing happened with Coach Prime. Coach Prime brings in Livingston, and when it's time for contract negotiations, they stalling Coach Prime, and they pay Livingston the highest paid, make him the highest paid defensive coordinator at Colorado. And his contract run through 2026. But Coach Prime can't get no NIL money. Lane Kiffin was just hired by LSU, and they have guaranteed him $25 million in NIL money. So any coach, black, purple, white, green, or brown, taking a job in any level of football where NIL is concerned, you better go in the door knowing how much NIL you're going to have access to guaranteed so you can compete. But Coach Prime can't get no NIL money, not after bringing in $300 million in TV, $90 million first 30 days, selling out 3 seasons. But his program get trashed. That's some gratitude for you. It said, I would have caught that ball, and I live in Maryland. Facts. That's facts. His girlfriend mad because she would have done. That's it. I'm like, girl, you know what? Talking about everybody in the building want to play with Dylan. I'm like, girl, ain't nobody tell you that. I'm like, I'm sorry. Did Jerry Judy tell you that? Did Jerry Judy text that to you? You know, everybody want to play with Dylan, girl. You better watch out. I'm like, because whoever told you that told you what they wanted you to hear. You trying to move on from little Dilly Poo because you know he a dud. Girl, shut up. Like, just go and be quiet. I'm like, because you got you a dud. You thought you was all that, and you got hoodwinked. That's what you got. That's what you got. That's what you got. So enjoy the money and shut up. It said it said didn't even try to get it. It said Travis would have got that ball. Yeah, he didn't try to get that. Steve Smith Jr. was right about Jerry Judy. Right. It's a lot of people that wonder why Stefanski still have a job. It's a lot of people that wonder how the hell Jerry Judy got paid like he did. Because he's not that he's not good. 1 touchdown through 13 games. And they won't bench that fool. And all he got is smoke for Shedeur. When Shedeur got him trending upward. You think the mafia done told Stefanski and Jerry Judy side by side, y'all better not win them games. That's how they act. Stefanski at the end of the game, he was like, I'm going to live to see another day. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Maybe they are gambling. Maybe they are. I don't know what the hell they're doing, but it's crooked. I know that. It's crooked. Believe me, it's fraudulent. It's corrupt. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. It is definitely bad. It said JJ has led the NFL in drop passes both this year and last year. What? Last year too? God darn. It says Shedeur is using all of his receivers. Right. He throws the ball to everybody. Let me see who's gonna get it. Let me see. And then in the second half, I'm like, y'all not hungry no more? What's happening here? I don't know. It said that's why they gave Judy $50 million because they knew he wouldn't meet the expectations. Right. And, I said that about Colorado. There was this one guy that played for Colorado, and I had to sit back and see if the dude was on the tape. And then I realized they knew he couldn't get the job done. They knew he couldn't. They knew he couldn't defend. So they put him out there and they let the quarterback get sacked. They knew he wasn't good. Now, there was some people out there, they was faking and shaking, but they gone. So we ain't worried about that. But that's what happened to Colorado this year. I noticed when it was like Juju got in or it was Caden, I said, oh, okay. So he not that good, but you keep putting him back out here. And there was a guy that was good. And I didn't see him after the first few games. So there's something that they do with the right tackle. There's something that they do. Must be some kind of play that they call. And just like the Browns, right? What the Browns, when the game started, Shedeur had all the protection in the world. Then they took Ethan out, number 55. Then that's the center. Then they took Teller out. I think he on the right. They took him out. They already announced that Teller is out for the Titans game. I said, here go the setup. Who y'all think they want to lose next week? Shedeur or Cam? I already know the answer. I know why. Who you think they want to lose or win next week? Drop in the comments. Cam versus Shedeur. Who they setting it up? Who they want to lose? They both black quarterbacks. But who is it that I want to lose? And they friends. Who do I want to lose? You ought to know the answer to this question. Cam has been sacked 40 times, and I don't know if he'd won more than one game. And then Shedeur has won one game. Who do they want to lose? Cam or Shedeur? And the Browns are already making moves. The Titans could be too, but I don't follow them. It said Heido is mad that Shedeur is using all of his receivers. Oh, really? Yeah. And it's funny. He didn't get that touchdown, but Shedeur still got one. See, Jerry Judy think, okay, you're going to have to throw to me. And then I'm going to go head on and drop it or slow down. Or he thinks he can set Shedeur up, and he didn't. And he didn't. Because Shedeur still got that ball off to Harold Fanning Jr. And that's when LeBron tweeted, good job. Keep your head up. I mean, here's the thing, right? If this kid get the opportunity to ball out and he does need sometime to do it, that's why they took the O-lineman out. Shedeur is being sabotaged by damn near everybody that worked there. Everybody. Maybe that's what the little girlfriend is trying to tell us. Because believe me, she got a burner. She trying to talk. So keep talking. Keep talking. Because you clearly don't respect Dylan to talk about his employer like that publicly. It said they don't draft the best players. It said they draft the best players willing to be a company man. That's what it's giving Cameron. It said they look for sellouts and good boys. It said they well beyond not wanting animals. It said they want brown nosers. That's what it's giving. They want what they think is the safe choice. That's what they really think. It says, speaking of the Giants, Dart was horrible tonight. Right. And why is that? Because Jackson Dart reached his ceiling in college. Like we've been saying since the Senior Bowl where they said it. I was like, they said he reached his ceiling. Even when they evaluated him, it says he reached his ceiling in college. But they just had to put this white quarterback in front of Shedeur. Let me tell y'all something. A lot of these people in this football space, it's not about football for them. It's about a white man doing something that they feel like they trying to prove that most people say only a black man can do, right? Trying to say a white man can be a quarterback, but a black man can't. And at a time when Shedeur's number 17, I take a white quarterback who has reached his ceiling in college. I take Tyler Shaw, who number 8. I don't even get Quinn Ewers because I'm mad because he didn't bench himself when Arch Manning was at UT. At a time after 120 years or so, when the NFL said black quarterbacks couldn't lead, don't have the mental capacity. That's not even 5 years ago. We don't want you as our quarterback, and they keep coming because you keep drafting. And you keep drafting them because you know if you don't, they're going to go somewhere and start their own league. So you draft to destroy. You draft Shedeur to destroy. You try to make him go undrafted free agent, still had to get drafted. You didn't want him to see QB1, QB1. Everything you didn't want him to do, he has done, and you don't stop. So it's just all going to blow up. The nefarious, sinister, corruption, and what their real motives are, the way they really talk, how they really communicate that we want to draft Jerry Jeudy because he's not good. Give him $41 million and we can turn him into an asset because he'll turn himself into a company man because he's not good. Dylan, we can turn Dylan into an asset, a company man because he's not that good. He'll be thankful for the contract. Am I wrong? But Shedeur, you keep getting places we don't want you to get. And now your damn fan base is all in our face, so we can't do what we want to do. But we're going to keep trying. So the answer to the question is, let me check and see what y'all said about who it is they want to lose in one of the most exciting games coming up with 2 teams at the bottom. Because it's not about their record. It's about Cam versus Shedeur, and that's what they don't want. They don't want us to be excited about 2 black quarterbacks because they said black quarterbacks can't lead. In a year when black quarterbacks have actually become the majority of the starters, but they just playing musical chairs so you don't notice. Optics. It said, cannot stop a cultural icon. Yep, Shedeur Sanders is a cultural icon. It said, damn Jackson fake Dart. Right. It said, Shedeur and Cam is the show. Facts. And I'm like, let me see what they're going to do to get to that game to make sure it don't go the way it should, to let the 2 of them ball out. It said, yes, Shady has a burner account. Yeah, I know she got one. She trying to tell it. It said, remember that video where Cam was fronting on Shedeur and Shedeur put him on? Yep. What did Shedeur tell Cam in Vegas? They going to come for you too. Indeed. How many times he been sacked? Is it past? Let me see. Did we make it past 40? Luckily, he hadn't had any concussions. Jeremiah 29:11. Let me teach you a thing or two, but I ain't trying to hurt you. Respect Shedeur. Shedeur just learning when he gets to his next level who to leave behind. That's all. Because some of these people are full of it. Let's see. Cam Ward sacked. Let's see. Cam Ward sacked. I don't know how many times he's been sacked. Okay, I can't get it off there. My nails must be too long. See, that's what happened. My nails get too long. I got to run down there and like, I need you to file these down because my finger was still purple when I went to get my nails done. This finger was still purple. So I had actually damaged the under part. I guess what's under the nail did damage to that. You gotta be careful with these long nails. Let me see how many times Cam Ward been sacked. Let's see. Yeah, they don't want neither one of them to succeed. Now they getting ready to play each other. All right. How many times has Cam Ward been sacked? 48. Jeez, goodness gracious. I know his mama is not happy because I swear it couldn't be mine. I'm like, Ooh, 48 times? Y'all, Cam Ward has been sacked 48 times. That is awful. And no amount of him jaw-jacking with Shedeur and thinking, he was hot stuff. Not knowing he was a patsy in to be the first round. And look what they did to him. They always knew they was gonna do this. 48 times. See what I meant by these excessive sacks? Jeez. So you should know who they want to lose. Shedeur to lose. Yep. They want Shedeur to lose. They're going to want Cam to win. They're going to let Cam win. They don't want him to win. Hell, it might end up in a tie. Remember that whole tie situation between the Packers and the Cowboys? If this don't end up in a tie, they want Cam to win and Shedeur to lose. Why? Cam is already a first-round pick. He's already a QB1. I take him down by having him sacked excessively. I don't even care about the money. But since you're here, and I don't want you here, I just had to get you so Shedeur wouldn't get to the number one spot because it worked at number 2. It's a shame. 48 sacks. That's just really bad. And I don't wish that on nobody, but I'm glad it ain't Shedeur, right? Because he already been sacked to school like that, right? They want Shedeur to lose the game. And the overarching reason they want Shedeur to lose every game going forward is because Dylan's record is 1-5. That's why. And Cam is already a QB1. They trying to figure out how to devalue him. They've already devalued Shedeur. All he can do is elevate from here on out. But if he has the same record as Dylan, I can do exactly what I did in the Rams game where I had him set up and justify why he's not QB2 or QB1. That's why they want Shedeur to lose. That's why Teller is probably out already. Ain't no telling what they're going to do next. It said, remember that video where Cam was front on Shedeur? Yep, the Vegas one. Yep, that's facts. That's the Vegas one. They want Shedeur to lose. Just check the Brown scouting report for next week. Yep, you got it. Yep, they want Shedeur to lose. That's it. Y'all got it. It said if Shedeur get hurt, Coach Prime is going after them from the head. I hope so. It said Shedeur, Cam Newton already said it. Yep, Cam Newton said it. Every time he get out there, they want Shedeur to lose. So everybody know what's going on. So Shedeur should know what's going on. So at Thanksgiving dinner, when they were talking about him getting yards, what did he say? Just win. Just win. Because that's what they don't want him to do. The bare minimum. Just win. So now he got to go out here and figure out, are they going to use the O-line again? Are they going, because he know when they start making these weird adjustments, that's cue that you're going to get set up. Tommy Reese going to limit the play. They're going to let Quishan run it. So they're going to turn him into a game manager. And when he does have the opportunity on third down, like they keep doing, he going to have to try not to get sacked because I've taken the best O-lineman out because Jerry Jeudy, there's no consequences for him. I mean, it's just a big, obvious plot. It is. It's just a big, obvious plot involving the media with character assassination, just like the draft. Use Jeudy. Hell, they might have used the little girlfriend. I don't know, but they want to keep the drama around Shedeur. You know what I heard somebody say today? They posted Dylan, Shedeur, and the little girlfriend. And they said, man, I wondered 2 years ago, Stefanski would know he was dealing with all this. I'm like, Stefanski, the reason why this toxicity is even happening. Shedeur wasn't arguing with Jerry Jeudy. He was telling Jerry Jeudy to get the hell out of his damn face, standing up for himself. Shedeur ain't got nothing to do with Dylan's little yapping mouth girlfriend. That's on Dylan and his girlfriend, that she respect his employer. Why y'all drag Shedeur in this? The same reason when people finally want to say fire Kevin Stefanski, they want to drag in Andrew Berry at a time when Andrew Berry is being praised for putting together one of the best draft classes. It's fire Andrew Berry. It's never fire Stefanski. It's never blame the O-line. Let's see if it's going to finally be blame Jerry Jeudy. Probably not. So they're gonna pimp Jerry Jeudy out. I hope he get ready. So yeah, Shedeur is the one they want to lose. Y'all got it. Instead, they're gonna try to humiliate Shedeur. So far, he been getting away with it. And if I'm Shedeur, let me tell you what I'm gonna do. Since y'all gonna set me up, I'm gonna get these numbers. I ain't worried about trying to make no plays. If I know y'all gonna set me up, I'm throwing these check downs. I'm gonna get my little completions. I sure am. Cause see, that's the one thing he could walk out with. What he walked out with this game. Good numbers. Screw them. They don't want to win no way. They want to make you look bad and sacks so a way they can say, oh, yeah, that happened at Colorado. Don't let them sacks happen. Use them check downs like Coach Prime said. And when you see that open window with somebody that you trust, take it. But if you don't see it, immediately check down it. What they want him to do is throw an interception or get intentional grounded. They want his numbers to be trash. Get rid of the ball. There wasn't nobody open. And he said it, this takes time. You got to get used to people. That's on Stefanski. So people don't listen if they think he covered for Stefanski. No, he not covering for Stefanski. He telling you it's going to take time. Who didn't give him time? Stefanski. But he not going to let you bait him into criticizing his head coach. That's disrespectful. He's not a disrespectful person. And why would that media person be allowed back in there? Because they want them to harass Shedeur. They want Shedeur to get harassed from all sides. The teammates, the girlfriend of the teammates, the head coach, the OC, everybody. Until he just tap out. That's the goal. And the closer they get to the end of the season, and if he win another game, it's just going to get worse. But that's where God coming at, right? So we'll be live. I haven't scheduled it yet, but we'll be live for the watch party. We just watching to see how Shedeur gonna overcome the Browns again. And having fun watching him and Cam. So, yep, y'all got it. Shedeur set the table for Cam. He did. He sure did. They want Shedeur to lose. Facts. Now, imagine what this does for betting. Remember when, and maybe these people are betting. Remember when Dylan was just out there left to lose and lose and lose and lose. And people said, the bettors said, oh, we love this because we know he can't win. So we know how to bet. Right? They love the money line when it's Dylan. So what happens when I switch to Shedeur because of pressure and pressure only? When I switch to Shedeur, but I keep setting him up to fail, I can guess the money line. I know Shedeur is a good athlete. I know he gonna get one. He gonna try to get one touchdown. I see the Browns keep moving, moving the goalpost so he can't be successful. I know they're gonna clamp down on him so he's not gonna get 200 yards. I know he's not going to get probably 2 touchdowns. That's going to be a miracle. He might get 1. I know as soon as he get 1, they're going to clamp down on him. So again, the bettors know what to do. So Jerry Jeudy, if you look at his stats, you know what to do. He only got 1 touchdown. Why would you guess that he going to get 2? You could look at his average numbers of yards. When it's Dylan, you could tell, oh, he ain't finna get no yards. When it's Shedeur, oh, okay, he might get 39. This is helping bettors. It's also helping Haslam because apparently he wants to lose. Because pivoting from Shedeur to Dylan, not getting any O-lineman or replacing your O-lineman or getting any wide receivers, you want to lose. I like Gage, but he's an undrafted free agent, right? And they seem comfortable with that, right? Because they want to lose. And they know they can't force Shedeur to lose. So they have to sabotage him so that he'll lose. You would think these people going to owe the Mafia $25 billion if they win. That's how hard they're going at setting Shedeur up to lose. Just look at Jerry Jeudy's stats through 3 quarterbacks. Speaks volumes. Speaks volumes. So, yep, y'all right. They want Shedeur to lose. Yep. Shedeur figured some things out in Colorado. Yep. It said Gage ain't all that. I would have cut him in the preseason. It said from what I saw then, I was surprised no one got a sack until the fourth quarter. Yep. They immediately came out and balled out. And what did they do? Same thing Pat Shedeur would do. Clamp down. We ain't trying to win. We ain't trying to beat the 49ers. This was the first year in this matchup, I may be at home, that the Browns did win. The Browns are an at-will team. I want to win when I want to. Who I want to. I didn't want to win last year. I don't want to win this year, but Stefanski's job is safe. Okay. You had a black quarterback last year. You had a black quarterback this year. Okay. All right. He gave all of his wide receivers a chance to play. Right. They should love him. And here's the thing, right? How is Jerry Jeudy mad? Oh, you only got one touchdown. You dropped half of the passes you get. Between Dylan and Shedeur, you drop half of the passes that you get. And you don't have nothing to say about Dylan. You claim you want Dylan to be the quarterback, but you can win with Shedeur. What the hell is your goal? That's crazy. That's how you know it was an act. That's how you know it was premeditated. Jerry Jeudy had to make Shedeur seem problematic, starting with slowing up, not looking for the ball, as if we wouldn't go back and watch film. And then the first thing he did was, how can you, through 2 games with Shedeur trending upward, 25 yards or more, 25, 39 respectively, half your passes you dropped or fumbled or slowed up and didn't catch. How can you shake your head that you don't catch a ball from Shedeur when you have 1, the most drops, 2, you only catch half your targets, and Shedeur has you in good position through the rest of the games to get your low yards? You don't even want to hit your incentives. Why is that? Why you don't want to hit your 1,000-yard incentive? Because you weren't going to hit it with Dylan. So why you don't want to do that? Did they promise you the rest of your contract will be guaranteed? Like the 41 is, now the difference will be guaranteed? They promised you something. Because you acting like a fool for something. You're not acting like a fool for nothing. There's a lot of secrets around Berea. All they need is one person to start talking. Dylan's girlfriend is the definition of delusion. Fact. Dylan got booed. It said Dylan got booed on Sunday the moment he stepped on the field. I heard about that. I also heard that the fans were booing Jerry Jeudy. Did y'all hear about that? I didn't know that. They said the fans at the game were booing Jerry Jeudy. That's crazy right now. That's crazy. Yep. Yeah, I don't think Gage is that guy. I think it's great that Shedeur helped to develop him, but beyond that, but that's why they kept him. They don't want to win. What is the opposite of accountability? Stefanski, right? That's it. Shedeur is playing with a rookie wide receivers. Jeudy don't like it, right? But here's the thing. I don't know why he mad, because he didn't do nothing with Dylan. He really didn't. He really didn't do nothing with Dylan either. It looked like, if you ask me, they got Jerry Jeudy to tank this season. That's why he got the most drops this year, and some say he got the most drops last year. It looked like that's why he got $41 million. And I hate to tell Jerry Jeudy, but I think they picked him because he's part Haitian. He's not African American, because we gonna tell. Everybody that's suing the NFL is black. Why do you think there's no black offensive coordinators? Because I'm not going, as a black offensive coordinator, ruin Shedeur's career. I'm not going to keep Shedeur in the pocket. I'm not going to set up Lamar Jackson. I'm not going to get Jalen Hurts sacked so he can't get back to the Super Bowl. I'm not going to have the number 1 pick overall sacked 48 times, even though we paid him $48 million. I'm not doing it. I'm not ruining another black person's career because y'all don't like black people. I'm not keeping that secret. That's their dirty little secret. That's why there are no black offensive coordinators, because I don't know of none that would do what Tommy Rees is doing to a talent like Shedeur. That would make me sick. To know how hard this young man worked to get here, and you want me to ruin his career because I'm black. So then they went get Andrew Berry. Let's see if he make it right. Let's see if he make it right. Everybody, don't forget to vote for Shedeur. You can vote every day up until December 15th. That's facts. That's facts. I think I had it on a banner. Let's see if I can put it up there. I think I had the website that y'all could get it from and check it out. Well, let's see. So, yep, y'all have guessed it. They want Shedeur to lose. They already announced that Teller is going to be out. That's facts. Because, see, if Shedeur beat Cam, what you think the conversation going to be? Shedeur should have been number 1 overall. So, yeah, it is right here. All right. So, it's in here that Shedeur is eligible for the Pro Bowl. But it sounds like to me that the team have to vote or something like that. So, it might not happen. But do it anyway. Let's just see what happens. 10 million strong. Let's see what happens. Well, let's see what happened. So, yeah, vote for Shedeur for the Pro Bowl. I already voted. People been sending me their little screenshots saying they voted. I'm happy. I'm exactly happy. All right, we get ready to get out of here. Real ones know Shedeur is the best. Everyone knows it, right? It said this is totally acceptable for number 3. Facts. Yeah, number 3 looks like a hired hand. It said Andrew Berry needs to be evaluated by himself. It says not with Stefanski. Yeah, exactly. And here's the thing. When we came to this situation, you see how they trashing Shedeur? They was trashing Andrew Berry. Oh, they was trashing Deshaun Watson. They was trashing Andrew Berry. I'm like, how the hell are you blaming Andrew Berry for Stefanski for Deshaun contract? I'm like, hell no, he didn't make that decision. And they let it ride. They let it stand. See, they don't clean nothing up. They don't want to clean up nothing because if they wrong, they're not going to say nothing. And when Stefanski is a scapegoat or Deshaun is a scapegoat or Shedeur is a scapegoat, we ain't going to fix that. We just going to let it ride. That's what they do. We still don't know who it is that made the phone call, but they led people to believe that it was the defensive coordinator's son. No, it wasn't. It was somebody associated with the New York Giants. And Daboll finally got fired, but the GM's still over there. And his daughter and him and Jackson Dart and the Mannings all went to Ole Miss, except for Peyton Manning. He went to Tennessee, where Haslam went. See the connection? They doing all of this because they want a white quarterback or don't want a black one. So we're going to get out of here, everybody. This was good. Yeah, you see how toxic. I think what's happening is we're seeing how toxic the Browns organization is from the inside out, between Dylan's little fiance girlfriend yapping her mouth, putting down his employer, shows she don't respect him. Jerry Jeudy losing his mind and trying to post up on the quarterback, the most important position on the team, and no consequences there, right? But the fans, I do believe they said the fans were booing Jerry Jeudy at the game. I didn't know about Dylan, but y'all say the fans were booing Dylan, right? The fans know Shedeur gives them the best chance to win. So the next few games, the fans going to make their voices heard about Haslam leaving Stefanski and Jerry Jeudy in place and still talking about trying to go back to Dylan and getting a white quarterback next year rather than winning with Shedeur, who's a franchise quarterback that they got at a deep discount. Let's see. And Shedeur is learning who his real friends are. So when he get elevated, he going to leave some people behind. Believe that. So, y'all, we're going to get out of here. This was good. Thank y'all so much for hanging out What She Said Sports. We'll be back tomorrow. Thank y'all so much for getting me to 6,000. And y'all can go shopping at What She Said Sports and get your Shedeurian tea. Show off your Shedeurian pride. If anybody call you a cult, tell them, do we need to send law enforcement over there to their mama basement to see what they need to be held accountable for? So understand this. When people start talking that foolishness, when we deliver accountability and they want us to go away and they say we a cult and they start name calling, let them know that we don't have a problem with accountability. You do. And that's too bad. Because we're not going to let this kid get done like the rest of the quarterbacks who didn't have nobody speaking up for them. This is what he's doing. Shedeur Sanders having 10 million people speaking up for him is God's grace for him. Understand that. So we'll be back tomorrow. Thanks for watching What She Said Sports, everybody. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the subs. Thank you for the customers. Thank you for the members. And I'm going to work on my Patreon. I'll see y'all later. Peace.